Hello and welcome to TV and Movie Reviews Podcast. I'm Hank,
And I'm Mel.
and we'll be covering Suicide Squad 2. Okay. Well, as we often do, we like to start out with settings and go through some characters, then some wins, then some problems, then ratings. So settings wise, this was a pretty simplistic movie in my opinion. I'm not trying to be mean spirited towards the locales or anything like that, but it just seemed pretty basic, standard. Nothing really stood out at all. Like me and you could put together that beach scene with about 100 extras and get that going. But
Correct.
um, and then the location for the final battle, underwhelming for me. What about you though?
Uh, actually, I didn't have a problem with the location. I thought, I wanted a little more. There's always more you expect to happen or what have you. But as far as locations, I didn't have a problem with anything.
Okay. All right, let's move on to some characters. This is where we usually spend the bulk of our conversation anyway. They're gonna go in no specific order. We'll try to breeze through some of these. Savant, played by Michael Rooker. I really wanted to like the character because I like Michael Rooker.
Of course.
He's been on some acquaintances of mine's podcasts, and he takes the time out to do that kind of stuff like that. So I like to give him the benefit of the doubt and stuff. But the character was essentially useless and unnecessary for the whole movie.
So basically, he was the sacrificial lamb, except there was more than one, and it was a good way to show you that anybody could die. But we already got that from a bunch of other characters, and but the way the movie was set up, you were supposed to think, okay, here's this guy. He takes no crap. He's BA, and then you're like, clearly he's going to survive to the end, just to be able to show the story staying with him beginning in a movie, and then you go, oh wait, no, not so much. And so they thought they were being clever. It's just one of those things. It reminds me of there was this horror movie called The Feast, and 3 minutes in, this guy shows up and it calls him the hero, and he's telling people what to do and how to survive the monsters. And then 5 minutes in, he gets killed. And it's like, oh, hey, see, we're tricking you. And it's just like, oh, not so much.
Right.
So
And when he killed the little bird, it kind of ticked me off. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was unnecessary, But anybody in that situation might do some things that are not necessary, obviously.
I honestly, I killed a bird just setting up my laptop today. I mean, I do it all the time. I didn't know that was frowned upon.
You wipe the little blood off on your jeans and just keep going. You're like,
this shirt is actually white. It's a bunch of bird blood all over the place. So
I was like, shame on you, Michael. I'm gonna tweet at him today too. Shame on you. Viola Davis, no relation, thank goodness. Playing Amanda Waller. Man, she is ruthless, like over the top ruthless. But
So I noticed they might have done some flanderization from last movie. Last movie, she was kind of, large and in charge, so to speak, and the chess master killed her own team, and I think they went more towards the killed her own team aspect and thought that was the only aspect to keep of her personality from the first movie. She's not just some ruthless killer, like she's a mission comes first kind of person. But I think they kind of skewed off a certain way with it. But I mean, Amanda Waller is more than just a killer who doesn't care about people. Like, she wants to get the mission done. It's just made it look weird, like she didn't care about anybody, and I don't know. I didn't kind of like some of her characterization in this movie.
yeah, I agree. All right, moving down the list. Let's talk about Rick Flag. I liked him much better in this movie than I did in the first one. However, his decision about the drive at the end kind of didn't really fit to me because he's also like an order taker, isn't he?
Yes. So I think they wanted you to like him more because they were going to kill him off. So they had to make him tell more jokes, notice more things. And so I think that's where they went with that. Like all of a sudden, him and Harley are friends. The Rick Flag in the first movie would have never called Harley his friend. I mean, he might have drank with them or whatever, but he wouldn't have done that. So it's they want to just make him a likable character, and that's the best way they could do it.
Okay. They're like, we've got something for you. Here you go.
Exactly.
TDK, Nathan Fillion. Oh my gosh. I loved that scene. That was funny as all get out.
There was not enough of him, easily. He should have been in flashbacks. There should have been people remembering him. He was not in the movie enough.
Oh man, it was so funny. Like, what does your name mean? It's letters.
When
like,
obviously, like, come on.
It's letters, man. Stupid. It was funny. And then Captain Boomerang, I was kind of shocked that they did him in, but it was, it was interesting, I guess. I guess that they were trying to shake things up, like you said.
And did you notice that he's the only person that didn't get killed because of his own incompetence?
Didn't think about that.
Yeah, so they wanted to say, okay, we're not gonna by killing him off, we're gonna do a disservice by leaving him, but we're still gonna like you guys who like his character, you're gonna have this way for him to go out on it. He didn't get killed because of himself, like Nathan Fillion, like TDK, for example. Yeah. He didn't hide behind cover. Like, fine, send your arms off, just take cover. Like,
I was like, this is gonna be great, and then all he did was start smacking him in the head and stuff. I was like, oh.
Like, I mean, think about it. His arms are just projectiles, which is a gun. So when you have a gun, you don't just like if you can hide behind a rock while you shoot somebody, you're gonna do that. You're not just gonna say, "Hey, let me be out in the open." Like, yeah. So he shouldn't have died at all. Pete Davidson, I get that he was. Oh, sorry. Just jumped ahead. My bad.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Javelin. I thought that was one of the ones that was at least kind of funny. As far as when Harley Quinn was like, what am I carrying this for? No, tell me what am I carrying this for? I was like, that's actually kind of funny.
And she gently touched his face and it just starts slapping it repeatedly. So, yeah.
Come back.
Come back.
Tell me what this is about. Mongol, that was kind of dumb. I mean, all the opening sequence was kind of dumb, but that was especially dumb.
Yeah, I not much to say about that character. Like, I mean, I didn't even. It was so pointless. I didn't even. Usually, I do research on characters I don't know about. I mean, do it with just the name. I'm going to assume she's related to Mongol or somebody from Apocalypse or a new god or something. But regardless, I was just like, eh. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, right. And Blackguard, we're up to your favorite here, Blackguard.
Oh yeah. So character development aside, we don't need to know who he is. Just he's a jerk. But I mean, if he's trying to look after save his own butt, like why walk out into the open? Why not just go, hey, who's the so-and-so person I talked to? Like he had to have, let's say he sold them out. He had to sell them out to somebody.
Right.
Like, hey, can I talk to so-and-so? Can I talk to, Colonel whatever, Colonel Marquez? And then that guy talks to him. You don't just go out in the open because even if I sold somebody out, I wouldn't assume the soldiers in front know what's going on. Right. So just,
you just hang back until things progress. And then you're like, okay, I delivered them like I told you I would.
Yeah, not from the start. Yeah.
Hey, it's me. Yeah. I'm the guy that turned them in.
And then even then, just like you just betrayed people, you could get betrayed.
Yeah.
So you should always have that in mind too.
Oh, certainly.
I would never go out the open for a battlefield ever until either nobody's standing or like I have some assurances.
And then Weasel, Sean Gunn, he also played Calendar Man in the prison. But
Yes.
the Weasel character, I just was like, it was pointless. In my problems, I'll get to more about that. But it just was pointless, kind of a pointless character to me, other than what they do at the end.
Yeah, it was a throwaway character and we had quite a few already. Um yeah, I didn't get it.
Harley Quinn, that was far and away for me the most spot on character in the movie. Harley Quinn doing Harley Quinn stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to her. Let's touch back on problems.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Who else? Is there anybody else? Peacemaker and Bloodsport. We'll talk about them and then we'll maybe dabble through a couple others. But
Yeah.
John Cena's Peacemaker, I thought it was just a little too over the top. Like the characters cranked to 14 and the scale only goes to 10.
This is where we differ, my friend.
Oh,
I don't know if it's the former Marine thing, and so
Okay.
I see these guys. Saw those guys and know these guys, and probably somebody thought I was this guy. But yeah, he was easily my favorite thing about the movie.
Wow. Okay, yeah, we differ. I thought he was pretty funny, but seeing John Cena, I used to be a wrestling fan back in the day, and so seeing him play a character like this was like totally contrary to all the stuff he's done in wrestling.
I mean, honestly, I couldn't see him because of his catchphrase, but I mean, I just heard him. But
Not bad. Not bad.
yeah, I try.
He had a toilet bowl on his head.
I just saw the toilet bowl. Honestly, I didn't see him.
You can't see me. Bloodsport by Idris Elba. I liked the character. It was too similar to Will Smith's character.
I think they tried their best to distinguish that after the daughter thing that he's a little different. Like, I mean, he would zig versus zag what Will Smith would do, and he was more of a reluctant hero. Where Will Smith's character, I feel that Will Smith would be in your face about I'm going to save you. He wouldn't say I would never. He wouldn't say I'm no leader. I'm not going to save you. Blah blah. So I think while they had the same kind of actions, they would have went about it different ways, or the attitudes about it would be different.
Okay.
But yeah, I've seen the comments about it was basically the same person, but I think they handled it. Their attitudes about their actions would have been different. But yeah, at the end of the day, the same stuff would have happened.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's see. Polka Dot Man, I thought that was a terrible throwaway character. I did not. I just didn't like it. Like, he don't like his mom. That's a strike for me. And then the polka dots, the way they come out was just, it was like, I don't know, man. It was, it could be an age thing because I'm older. So it could be this felt like it was written for millennials or younger, in my opinion.
Well, I think then you didn't take the severity of his the virus. It was a deadly virus that could have killed him. And in this day and age, there's deadly viruses out there, and what can you do?
Can't shed them
What
like
can
that.
you do?
You probably
No,
don't throw them at people.
No, I understand too. Like he's just I think that was just all humor there. You were supposed to just kind of think it was funny,
Okay.
the black comedy of it. But
Okay.
yeah, I definitely understand that one. But I like that they didn't have him there too much. Like he wasn't, you know, they didn't do too much of him because
Right.
at the end of the day, you know, he's already spread so thin. You know, he's in Ant-Man, he's in Dark Knight, he's in Flash. So,
Okay.
so we see enough of this guy already.
Now, King Shark, voiced by Sylvester Stallone. I really didn't like this representation of King Shark. It was like trying so hard to make him like a Guardians of the Galaxy type shtick, in my
They
opinion.
wanted him to be Groot, but Groot isn't dumb. Yeah,
Exactly.
he just says the same stuff, but he isn't dumb. And also, I got ruined on it because there's a Harley TV series right now on HBO Max. It just went into its second season. It's awesome. And King Shark is voiced by, I don't know if you know Ron Funches, in the but he's a comedian, and in there he's funny, he's smart, he's a hacker. And yeah, and so it's just, I mean, yeah, he still eats people, he's still a bad guy, but he's just got a great sense of humor. He's a completely different take on King Shark. And
Interesting.
so this one, you know, just he's got like a 5-word vocabulary, he's dumb, and you know, he got punched in the head too many times like other Sylvester Stallone characters. And and it's just, yeah, I didn't like this take on him at all.
And then Thinker, I absolutely couldn't stand this take on Thinker. I just thought that was pitiful, to say the least.
Well, I mean, he had one line that I thought was really funny, which is it safe to say on this channel? But
No.
I, other than that, number one, didn't he have powers? Because he didn't use them.
He
I
didn't use
think,
them in this.
yeah, I think number one, if you have any powers in any medium, you have to use them at least once. That's just kind of the way it works, or else why aren't you just a regular human?
Right.
Like, don't have somebody with powers and have them never use it, or it's just a waste of a character. So I thought he was a waste. It could have easily been anybody, put any human in that place, and you would have had no difference.
Okay.
No difference at all. Especially as a Flash fan, I know the Thinker to be like smart and ways ahead. He thinks all these things out, and a completely different guy. Like, name one time he actually thought and he used his intelligence to get ahead. Like,
Nope.
no,
Never
he
did.
didn't. Yes, I mean, he literally could have been Joe Smo, and it would have been no difference.
All right. Any other characters you want to talk about, or can we move on to some wins?
Um, there's the two side characters, the Warden and I forgot Steve Agee plays him, who's going to be in the Peacemaker series. But I think they were the most vocal, and that's just to show the connection. I mean, they were kind of the proponents against Amanda Waller near the end, and they didn't really serve any purpose except to say, "Hey, they're from the movie." Once you see them in this show, I think, so we don't know anything about their characters at all so far, except Steve Agee's character, the Warden, didn't like the fact that Bloodsport's daughter was threatened. So I mean, there's some character morality there, but once Peacemaker starts, we'll see what their real characters are.
Okay.
So this was kind of just a teaser to the characters, so to speak.
All right. Let's get into some wins. I absolutely thought the javelin scene and it being playing a like MacGuffin of sorts for Harley Quinn was friggin' awesome. I did. I absolutely liked that one.
If you think about it, it was like the note in Forrest Gump, in Saving Private Ryan, when the person died and they took the note, and then somebody else died and they took the note from him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I forgot who wrote the note originally, but at the end, Edward Burns' character, somebody wrote a note to their wife or family member, and each time somebody died, that person carried the note. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It was one of those Dear John. It was one of I got to come back to you on that one, but it reminded me of like a dead person's note being carried along. But
Okay.
I can't remember the characters from the movie, so We should move on.
Okay, no
Sorry.
worries, no worries. I also thought Margot Robbie, her portrayal of Harley Quinn was really good for me. Absolutely loved the art choice to do like the flowers and stuff as she's just mopping the floor with baddies. I really thought that was well done because it makes sense for her insane character to have like flowers and stuff popping loose.
This is where we differ. So I want to ask you a question as a for me as a veteran. uh, what is the odds in real life of a deranged ex gymnast, ex PhD well, I guess not ex PhD, but former doctors, former therapists being able with a javelin at first and then with an M16, but it would take out a whole platoon of fully trained soldiers without getting a shot,
All
without getting
right.
shot at
Yeah.
all.
That's
So
zero.
that's yeah. So I get it was supposed to be funny, but it was a little too realistic because honestly, there's some soldiers that would have taken cover. Nobody takes cover in this movie. There would have been some soldier from far, far back that would have just started shooting. And for her to just be able to walk up in a straight hallway and not catch any shots, I said, okay, they really want to give her some character. They want to really like give her a movie. And apparently they forgot that there was this thing called Birds of Prey. And so they just wanted to kind of focus on her for a very long time, even though it's called the Suicide Squad. So they focused on the squad over here and just her over there when, it really wasn't her movie. It wasn't supposed to be her movie. So I thought that scene was gratuitous. I loved it. I mean, in theory, she did more in that red dress than Black Widow did in the whole MCU continuity.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So honestly, she did a lot. It's just I think she did too much.
Okay. I loved blood sports, all his gadgets and stuff, how they came together. Like the guns, and he'd put another part on and all that stuff. I thought that was really well done.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. We didn't get enough of that in my mind.
I liked Peacemaker at first, just like how hardcore he was trying to be. And then it kind of fell apart towards the end for me, but I did appreciate that they made him kind of over the top hardcore at first, and then he kind of unraveled for me as his character continues forward.
And it's you're never supposed to use Wikipedia as a source. But when you look him up, he's actually listed as a hero, as a superhero in Wikipedia, not a supervillain. So so I mean, I'm not familiar with the character completely, but I think that some of his choices might have been different than in the comics. But yeah, I mean, we'll see once the show comes out. Maybe he'll be different. Maybe this is going to be a prequel instead of a sequel series. So maybe they'll flesh some of this out because there was a lot of conflicting messages with his character.
Most certainly. I loved at the end when the woman hit Amanda Waller with the golf club. I thought that was perfect.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, there's the fact that everybody picked that point. These are the same people who bet on the deaths of everybody at the beginning of the movie, but
Right.
all of a sudden, hey, now we have a moral compass
Now,
here. But
now we'll
hey,
get her.
better late than never.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was pretty decent. Any wins for you? Any other ones?
um, I liked the unlike the original movie, I like that they took the time. Well, I guess they did drink together in the original movie. I like the club scene, just because it showed them getting along, it showed them hanging out. It showed them being buddies, so to speak. This was an aspect that the original movie didn't have. Um, and at the end of the day, yeah, they're villains, but they're still people. And like at one point. Rick Flag and Bloodsport. They're like pounding wild around and they're just drinking, and then everybody's dancing. I just like that. I thought that added to the gravitas of them being a team differently than the first movie.
Most certainly. Any other wins, or you want to switch over to problems?
I like that. The bad guy was immediately killed. I thought that was the first dictator was killed by Margot Robbie. We didn't dwell on that so much, and it was just kind of like he's talking about what he's gonna do, and then it's just like a bam, which I saw coming. They kind of
Right.
telegraphed it, but at the end of the day, I still like that part too.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that's
All right.
about it.
We'll switch to some problems. I had a problem that Ratcatcher's power isn't even a power.
Yeah.
If I got a hold of that wand thing correct, wouldn't I be able to do it?
Yeah, I have a power to make food show up at my doorstep in 30 minutes. I just hold
Right.
up a phone. So call me delivery guy number 2. Like,
Yeah. I can take pictures. Yeah, I'm a picture guy.
yeah.
Picture me guy
I can
and
play any
delivery.
song in the, in the
Yeah.
internet.
Music man. That's a new
Music
character.
guy.
Yeah, new character. They'd run with it too. DC would. Warner
DC
Brothers.
would need
They
to.
would. I thought that was weird. King Shark was an absolute miss for me. And like, what does kill him? Nothing.
Yeah, Mr. Indestructible.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know I didn't know he was a juggernaut, but oh well, oh well.
Yeah. I was just like, okay. I hated how the weasel thing worked. Like when you drown, you just drowned. Like you don't cough up water later on. I've
Yeah,
never heard of that before.
because you also would need to have. Yeah, let's just
Let's
why
just skip
dwell on
it.
that?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got nitpicky with the her, killing an entire platoon of trained soldiers, and I'll get nitpicky with the 3 of them in the back of that, like Humvee or whatever, and they're talking about the Daemok, the death touch. Well, I studied under a grand master of kung fu, and as far as I know, you don't deliver the death touch with a headbutt. Like it's designed to go right in here, right in your chest.
I mean, for me, I only know the 5-point touch, but that's just because it was stolen from me in Kill Bill 2. But
That's epic. But if I get nitpicky about some of the fight stuff, I know it's a comic book movie. That's everyone's retort is going to be comic book movie. But at least make it entertaining, like Harley Quinn, having
also,
kill him with a cigarette, shove a cigarette up his nostril.
also none of those shots were a really. I get nitpicky with the gun and soldier scenes apparently, and none of those shots were headshots. So in theory, the people as she's just walking a straight line, any of those people lingering could just go in the back.
Sure.
So it's like it wasn't like complete deaths. I mean, maybe they didn't want to show it, but but as you're suffering and you're on the ground, you still have reflexes. And I guarantee you, if somebody has enough energy to shoot me, I'm gonna use every dying breath if I have a gun to shoot them. Like
Right.
as I'm on the ground, I'm just gonna pull the gun over. But
Oh my goodness. Yes. There's a lot of problems with this movie. I hate to be that person.
did you find more problems in this movie or the first one?
Oh gosh. Yikes. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have watched this movie if you didn't want to review it. I wouldn't have. It could be, like I said, it could be an age thing, could be, I've just changed in life or thing, but like the crude humor misses. It's a miss for me. It's not for me anymore. Like Deadpool, that crudy humor. I'm just, unless I have to review it, I can miss those kind of movies and stuff. And I just got the sense that whoever wrote it was writing it for a demographic I'm not a part of. And I'm talking age, people.
Yeah, yes. Um, well, I like this one more than the first one.
Mhm.
I thought there's a lot of misses. There was a lot of there was a lot of planning that didn't work well. There was a lot of just the first one was just a bundle of mess.
Yeah.
And I mean, this one structurally, structurally, it made more sense to me. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, the humor is, you have to kind of disconnect some things here and there, disconnect some logic, which is hard for us. But I'd watch this. I'd watch this before the first one
Okay.
anytime. You know the just hey, I am going to have these people fall in love to make sure I can control this person who is the who in theory could be a terrible person for the whole planet. Or hey, what if Superman went bad? These people are gonna take care of him. Well, have any of these people ever done anything to Superman before? Can any of these people put up a fight? No. Like there's a lot of problems in part one. At least in part two, like you got a shark guy, Rat Tongue can take out Superman. You got a person who actually put Superman in the hospital. So second one, it had more, it made more sense to me. But yeah, you have to take it with a grain of salt.
Most certainly. Most certainly. Yeah. They sent Bloodsport on the hero's journey. They sent like multiple people on the hero's journey, and it's hard to do that. In my opinion, it's kind of hard to pull that off.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they're villains for a reason, and not to be that guy, but didn't Harley Quinn kill Robin? Are we just going to forget that?
We've
Like,
forgotten that.
why? Yeah, why are we? You guys like Margot Robbie, that's nice, but let's not make her a complete hero. Like, I mean, let's not think she's good. Like, I don't know if you ever watched Heroes. There's a character named Siler, and clearly they liked this character, and they always focused on him. He was supposed to be killed the first season, but too many people liked him. They kept bringing him back every season, and they had him have humor and a little heroic, but at the end of the day, they always remembered this guy was a killer. So they never let you forget. They never said, "Oh, hey, he's a complete hero now," because he killed a lot of people throughout the series.
Right.
Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn as the Joker's woman, she was a part of a lot of crimes that I don't think we should just be glossing over. But what can you do?
Right. Well, ready to dole out some ratings?
Sure, go ahead.
If you want me to go first, I'll go first. I did not care for this movie. I thought it had some good parts, some good elements, some characters I might follow if they were off on their own. Peacemaker, probably not one of them. to be honest,
Sorry.
you know what I mean? They're going to spin him off, and I'm like, oh, for what? Like him coming back after that, getting shot and losing. How much blood did he lose on the scene? Like, you get shot in the neck, you're done. You are done. You could probably have an ambulance standing next to you, and you'd still probably be done. But that's just my opinion. I am going to give it a 5 out of 10.
Oh, I definitely have to do 7.5 or 8.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, for what it was, like I turned a lot off, and it's not as ridiculous as a Fast and Furious movie to me, because there's a world where you said there's aliens and magic, so you didn't say, hey, so if somebody drove cars between buildings, I'd believe it in this world. But
Yeah.
so it's not a ridiculous thing, so to speak. So
But
you
a
know I,
starfish is pretty legit.
an alien starfish. You got an alien guy who can die and come back to life just because there's a thing called a mother box. Like I think you have a suspension of disbelief here and there. So what can you do?
All right. So you're saying 7.5 or 8?
Let's do 7.5.
Okay, fair enough. Anything else before we wrap her on up?
No, we're good.
Okay. Well, what did you out there think about Suicide Squad 2? Are you going to send me some hate mail? Feedback at tpenetwork.com. I can take it. I have thick skin. Just was a miss for me, but Mel liked it a little better, so you kind of got two takes in one. But that is going to do it for this edition of our TV and Movie Reviews podcast, brought to you by tpenetwork.com. For Mel, I'm Hank. Until the next time, we're signing off.
See you later.
TPE Network. There ain't nothing else like it.